In the heart of a bustling small town, there lived a telegraph agent named Clara. With her determined spirit and quick fingers, she played a vital role in connecting the town to the outside world. Each day, she sat at her wooden desk, surrounded by the rhythmic clicking of the telegraph machine, sending and receiving messages that kept the townspeople informed and united. Clara was not just skilled at her job, she was also courageous. She had faced challenges before, but this time felt different. Rumbling rumors filled the air, whispering about raiders ready to attack. These raiders wanted to disrupt communication for their own gain, threatening the very fabric of life in her close-knit community. Every day as Clara worked, she made sure to keep an eye on the horizon, always alert and prepared for trouble. She knew how crucial her role was. Without her quick messages, townsfolk would be left in darkness about important news. Clara often thought about how she could be a hero even without a cape. Her bravery showed in every message she sent and every life she touched through her work at the telegraph office. As tensions grew around her, Clara's resolve only strengthened. She would protect not just her job but also the town she loved. As the days passed, the atmosphere in the small town grew thick with tension. Whispers of raiders, notorious for their ruthless tactics, filled the air like dark clouds on a stormy day. Townspeople exchanged worried glances, their voices low and anxious as they gathered in small groups, fearing that communication would soon be cut off entirely. Clara could feel the unease around her as she worked at her telegraph office. It wasn't just the threat of danger that made her heart race, it was the thought of chaos sweeping through the town if the raiders succeeded. News of their plan to slash telegraph wires and silence anyone who dared to resist sent shivers down her spine. The town depended on her messages for everything, from news about local events to warnings of impending storms. Each click of the telegraph machine felt like a heartbeat, a steady reminder of hope in these uncertain times. Clara knew that if she could send even one warning before the raiders struck, it might help save lives. She began to gather her thoughts and prepare for what lay ahead, knowing that true bravery meant standing tall even when shadows loomed close. Amid the growing tension, Clara recalled the secret telegram she had received just days before. It contained crucial information from a nearby town, a warning about the raiders' plan to strike and a request for reinforcements. The message was written in code, a system she had developed to keep sensitive information safe from prying eyes. She knew it was vital to protect this telegram at all costs. If the raiders discovered its existence, they would stop at nothing to get their hands on it. Clara carefully tucked the message into a small compartment of her desk, hidden beneath her work papers. It was a risky move, but she believed it could help her town if she could decode it and send out an alert. As she sat at her telegraph machine, Clara felt a mix of fear and determination. She understood that time was running out, and every moment counted. Her fingers danced over the keys as she practiced decoding the message in her mind, readying herself for the moment when she could finally send word of help to those who needed it most. In that moment of quiet resolve, Clara felt like both a guardian and a messenger, a role she took very seriously amidst the looming threat. The sun sank low in the sky, casting long shadows across the town as Clara worked diligently at her telegraph machine. Suddenly, the sound of heavy boots echoed down the street, drowning out the comforting clicks of her machine. Clara's heart raced as she glanced out the window and spotted a group of men riding in on horseback, their faces grim and determined. The raiders had arrived. With a sense of dread, Clara watched as they dismounted and approached her office, their eyes scanning the area for any signs of resistance. She could feel her palms sweat as she instinctively reached for the hidden telegram, anxiety bubbling up inside her. The raiders kicked open the door, and the room filled with their rough laughter and menacing presence. "Look what we have here," one of them sneered, eyeing Clara with a mix of amusement and contempt. A little lady playing pretend at being important. They quickly moved to her telegraph wires, brandishing knives that glinted ominously in the fading light. Clara knew they intended to silence her and disrupt communication for good. "Don't even think about it," she shouted, her voice trembling but fierce. The raiders exchanged glances, surprised by her defiance, but their intent was clear, they would stop at nothing to achieve their goals. The atmosphere in the telegraph office grew thick with tension as the raiders closed in on Clara, their intentions unmistakable. One of the men, tall and menacing, stepped forward, brandishing his knife with a glint that sent chills down Clara's spine. "You think you're safe here?" he sneered, leaning in closer. "We can make things very uncomfortable for you if you don't cooperate." Clara's heart raced as she stood her ground, refusing to show her fear. "What do you want?" she demanded, trying to keep her voice steady. The raider grinned cruelly, revealing a row of missing teeth. "Simple. We want that coded telegram you're hiding. Hand it over, or we'll find other ways to make you talk." He gestured to his companions, who laughed darkly at the threat. "We've got plenty of time," he continued, leaning closer still. "If you don't tell us where it is, we might just hang you right outside this office for everyone to see." Clara's heart dropped at the thought, but she refused to give in. "Go ahead," she challenged, her voice stronger than she felt. "You can't silence me." The raiders exchanged glances, their expressions darkening as they realized they were dealing with someone who would not back down easily. Clara felt a fire burning within her as the raiders loomed closer, their threats rattling the air with dread. In that moment, she realized that her role as a telegraph agent was more than just a job, it was a responsibility to protect her town and its people. As she met the piercing gazes of the menacing raiders, her heart pounded not just with fear, but with an unyielding determination to keep the telegram safe. With every breath, Clara reminded herself of what was at stake. The coded message contained information that could save lives and alert other towns to the impending danger. She could not allow it to fall into the wrong hands. "You can threaten me all you want," she said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "But you'll never find what you're looking for." Her resolve strengthened. Clara envisioned the town's faces, the families, children, and friends who depended on her for communication. If she revealed the telegram's location, the raiders would snuff out that hope. She squared her shoulders and prepared to defend her secret with every ounce of courage she possessed. In that moment, Clara transformed from a frightened agent into a fierce protector, ready to face whatever came next. In the midst of the tense standoff, Clara's mind raced as she sought a way to protect the telegram and buy herself a little time. Suddenly, she had an idea. Leaning against her telegraph machine, she feigned a look of panic. "Wait! You won't get anything from me if you damage that machine," she exclaimed, gesturing wildly at the equipment surrounding her. "If you cut the wires, how will you know what's coming next?" The raiders exchanged uncertain glances. Clara saw a flicker of hesitation in their eyes and pressed on. "There's a way to send a warning to other towns. If you let me work, just for a moment, I can help you get ahead of any trouble. You'll want to know what's really going on, won't you?" The men paused, intrigued by the possibility of gaining an advantage through her knowledge. "What do you mean?" one of them asked, lowering his knife slightly. "Just give me a moment," Clara urged, her heart pounding with hope. While they debated her proposal, she slipped her hand discreetly toward the hidden telegram in her desk. The distraction was working, now she needed to act quickly to secure her secret before they could regain their composure. With the raiders distracted, Clara seized the moment and swiftly pulled the coded telegram from its hiding place. Her fingers trembled as she unfolded the paper, knowing that every second counted. She glanced nervously at the raiders, who were still debating whether to trust her. Heart racing, she began to decode the message in her mind while keeping one eye on them. Time felt like an enemy as she worked. The ticking of the clock on the wall echoed loudly in her ears, reminding her that she needed to send a warning before they changed their minds. Trying to block out her fear, Clara focused on the letters and numbers in front of her. Each stroke of her pencil felt like a lifeline, translating the important information into a message that could save lives. "Just a few more seconds," she whispered to herself, feeling the tension build in the room. The raiders were beginning to grow restless, their eyes flickering toward her as they sensed her urgency. With newfound determination, Clara reached for the telegraph keys, ready to send out the warning as soon as she finished decoding. She knew that failure was not an option, too much depended on her success in this desperate race against time. As Clara sent the warning message through the telegraph, a surge of hope rippled through the town. The moment word spread about the raiders and Clara's bravery, the townspeople rallied together. Families and friends who had once whispered anxiously in corners now gathered in the streets, their faces set with determination. Men and women grabbed whatever they could find, pitchforks, shovels, and old rifles, as they prepared to defend their home. Neighbors communicated with each other, forming a plan to confront the raiders head-on. "We stand together," one man shouted, his voice ringing out with conviction. "For Clara. For our town." With Clara's warning fresh in their minds, they positioned themselves strategically around the telegraph office, ready to protect it at all costs. The sense of unity transformed fear into strength. Everyone was willing to fight for their community. As they waited for the raiders to strike, Clara felt a rush of gratitude and pride swell within her. She knew that her message had ignited a spark of courage in her fellow townspeople. Together, they formed a wall of resilience against the impending threat, proving that even in the darkest moments, bravery could shine brightly when a community came together. The air was charged with tension as the townspeople positioned themselves around the telegraph office, ready for the confrontation. Clara stood at the center, her heart pounding in rhythm with the beats of determination surrounding her. The raiders emerged from the shadows, their faces twisted with greed and malice, pushing forward with an air of menace. "Get ready," a voice rang out among the townsfolk, breaking the silence. Each person nodded, gripping their makeshift weapons tightly, united in their commitment to defend their home. As the raiders advanced, Clara could see the fierceness in her neighbor's eyes, a palpable resolve that crystallized into action. "Now," shouted the man who had rallied them earlier. With a surge of courage, the townspeople charged toward the raiders, their shouts echoing through the air like a war cry. Clara kept her focus on her friends and family, encouraging them to stand firm. The clash was intense as townspeople and raiders collided, displaying remarkable teamwork. Together, they pushed back against the encroaching threat, showing that unity could overcome even the darkest of forces. Clara felt a rush of pride swell within her as she fought alongside her community, knowing that this clash was not just about survival, it was about love and loyalty to one another. In the aftermath of the fierce battle, Clara stood amidst her fellow townspeople, a wave of relief washing over her as they celebrated their victory against the raiders. The community, once filled with fear, now thrived with a spirit of resilience and unity. Clara's courageous actions had not only protected the secret telegram but also sparked a revival of hope among friends and neighbors. As they gathered in the town square to share stories of bravery and support, Clara reflected on the importance of communication in keeping everyone connected. The telegraph office had served as a lifeline, enabling them to warn one another and stand together when it mattered most. Her heart swelled with pride knowing that her determination had played a vital role in saving their home. In the days that followed, Clara worked tirelessly to repair the damage caused by the raiders. With every click of her telegraph machine, she sent messages to neighboring towns, sharing their story and strengthening their alliances. The town had learned that when they communicated openly and unitedly, they could overcome any challenge. Clara smiled at her fellow townspeople as they transformed fear into newfound strength, reminding her that true courage lies not only in facing danger but also in supporting one another through difficult times. As Clara stood among her fellow townspeople, she reflected on the incredible journey they had just experienced together. Their shared struggle against the raiders taught them invaluable lessons about loyalty and courage. Each person had faced their fears and stood up for what was right, proving that even in the darkest of times, bravery could light the way. The bonds forged during this ordeal were stronger than ever. Clara realized that true strength lies not only in individual acts of heroism but also in standing together as a community. They had shown that when people unite for a common cause, they can overcome even the most daunting threats. This experience reminded everyone of the vital importance of communication. Clara's role as a telegraph agent was more than just sending messages, it symbolized the connection between individuals and their ability to rally support when needed. As they rebuilt their town and their lives, Clara felt hopeful for the future. The resilience and solidarity demonstrated by her friends and neighbors would serve as an unwavering foundation, ensuring they would always stand strong against adversity. In this small town, loyalty, courage, and collaboration would remain guiding principles, teaching them to face any challenge with determination and heart.